All right, so now that you understand how to sign in, log out, find Recruitment Manager, I want to go over some of the key things that you'll be doing within Recruitment Manager in Salesforce. The first thing is locating the student. It's probably the biggest thing that you're going to be doing. You get a phone call from, say, myself, Emily Styles, and you're like, I want to see what all Emily has on her account. You go up here and type in her name, and you see that it populates. Another way that I could search for Emily Styles is I could do it by email address. So if I have her email address because she sent me an email and I want to quickly, but didn't sign her name because, that makes logical sense, I can go log in here and find her as well this way. So there's a lot of different search mechanisms that you can do. Either way, you'll just click on the blue hyperlink name to get to the contact information about Emily. Now, one thing to note here is that I do have a lot of extra tabs and things that you may not see. And I will switch here in a moment over to another view so that you can see that. But just a quick glance, I want to show you some of the things on here that you're going to be able to see quickly at a glance. The main section is going to give you general information about the student. Up here's some hyperlinks, and again, some general information right up here. We'll come back to this, but Chatter is going to be where you include all your notes and information about the student. And then this bar is primarily used by undergrad at this point, and it just tells you the stage at which the student is within the application process. All right, so we're back to searching for the student, and I have a different view set up for you now. So we'll click on the student's name. And again, you're going to see it as slightly different than the view before with less information and details based on what is going to be utilized by the graduate school versus the undergraduate. Address information, demographic. Account engagement inquiry is the inquiry program that is set up that we're doing all of our requests for information forms through and sending emails to students through. So this information will apply to graduate students. The reason that it is not filled out currently is because the student that we are looking at is an undergraduate applicant. But it still gives you the same information. So you can see when the application was created, for what term, all that kind of information. And it can tell us if the student is transfer. And it also shows you up at the very top, who is the contact owner for the student. We'll pop into another undergraduate student here in a moment and take a deeper dive. But this does show you the some Salesforce and SAP and system data that the system admins need to maintain. And there are some other aspects that we do need to maintain as well, but we want to make sure that you've got the information that you need. Now, again, you're going to be able to see the notes over here, which is a very, very important aspect within the contact tab. So what that means is if I have a comment that I want to write, I've, spoken with the student and, I need to add something to the student, I can do that here. So we will, excuse me. I will have to jump over and show you on this one. So under Chatter, you will click write a comment, and this is a test comment. And so you can see that Megan wrote this as a test. And that way that it is in there as part of the Chatter now. So now if we go back over here to this one, it should populate. In any case, that is how you do the Chatter. function. The other big key here that I want to show is really just the inquiry information. And so what I'm going to have to do is pull up a student real quick and show you a student that has applied through our request for information. I'm going to do this by going to reports and all folders and the outreach folder. Probably the only folder you have access to, but you may have other access as you progress throughout the program. So since we are looking as Megan at the moment, we will go to Applied Science Reports, and we will, it does take a minute, pull one of these reports. And this is going to show you how you can actually go to the student to see how they came through, what program they're interested in, and all of that information. Bear with us because the reporting does take a little bit to pull. All right, so now that we've got our report pulled up and we want to see, maybe let's see what Jody Gilbert is interested in. So we'll click on Jody here and we'll be able to scroll down until we get to the account engagement inquiry section. And this is where we'll be able to see that he has inquired about the Master of Science program in sports analytics for the full summer 2023. This will give you a good idea of maybe a student that you want to reach out with and engage with, especially since you've seen that he does not have an application on file, which is right here. So you may want to go up and get his email address and send him some communication. I think this is pretty much the basics for right now that I wanted to share with you. We will have another training in the future as it relates to the dashboards and getting more in depth with applications and things to that nature.